Today we are making the basic granny square. This pattern is so versatile. You can make bags, you can make dresses, you can make sweaters, you can make table runners, you can make tree skirts. Oh my gosh, the granny square is just an amazing little piece of crochet. I just love this little thing. You need a hook size that goes along with whatever yarn you chose. I am using a 4-weight medium acrylic yarn in various colors and a 5mm crochet hook. You also need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle. I've got some fun colors today. I have Mainstays 100% acrylic in the color pink. And I have I Love This Yarn in the color turquoise. And this fun multicolor where the label fell off, so it's called Daydreamery from I Love This Yarn. So, yeah. Obviously, you can use any colors you want. I hope you will crochet with me. I am assuming you know all your stitches. If you don't, please go down to my playlist down below on beginner basics, and I will teach you all the basic stitches. This is for somebody who already knows the stitches. You may not know how to make a granny square, but you know all your basic stitches. I am going to make mine with a magic ring. You can also make yours with a chain 4. I will show you both. I'm going to pinch and wrap around 2 fingers, making an X, and hold it. Now I've got 2 on here. Take my hook with the head side facing down, go under the first loop, grab the second, and twist. And then grab the second loop, like that. If you want a much slower explanation of a magic ring, I have a video all about that, and I go really slow. And then you would just chain 3. You can also do the chain 4 method. Make a loop, take that loop, and grab the larger size and pull. Now you've got a slip knot. Wrap, pull through, wrap, pull through, wrap, pull through, wrap, pull through. That is 4 chains. Then you are just going to slip stitch, which means I'm going to stick my head into one of the loops, pull it through, and then pull it through again. And now there's this tiny little hole that you can work into. And you chain 3, which is 1 less than you chained before. 1, 2, 3. And then you would wrap and make all your stitches in this hole. This is a double crochet. So that's how you would start in the chain 4. But we're going to go back to the magic ring method, because that's the one I like. No matter what method you're doing, you're going to chain 3. And then you're going to make 2 double crochets into the ring. We're going to wrap into the ring, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through 2, wrap, pull through 2. Going to wrap into the ring, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through 2, wrap, pull through 2. So this chain is going to act as your 3rd double crochet. Then you can chain 2. 1, 2. Now do 3 double crochets, which is going to equal a shell. So we're going to wrap and go through, pull up a loop, wrap, go through 2, wrap, go through 2, 3 times. Chain 2. Do it again, make another shell. Chain 2, and 1 more shell. Chain 2. See our tail? Pull it tight. If you did the chain 4 method, then you don't have something to pull tight and it's fine. We're going to count 1, 2, and 3. And at the top of the chain 3, we are going to slip stitch so it makes our 4th corner. And then as you can see, we have 4 little corners and it kind of looks like a pinwheel. Okay? Now then, there are 2 options here. This one is the one I prefer. You can do what you like. A lot of people, what they will do is they will turn and they will just work directly into the corner that they flipped on. However, that can get confusing, and also the product I don't think looks as good. So what I do is I just slip stitch across into the stitches to the next corner. And then into the corner space, which is the chain 2. But go into the space, not the stitches, for that. And then chain 3. And then I start. So we have chain 3, so we need 2 double crochet to complete our shell. And this is a corner space. So in every corner space, you are going to have shell, chain 2, and shell. So we're going to chain 2 and make another shell into that space. The nice thing about granny squares is you are working into spaces. Now, some people will chain 1 here. I don't. I think it gets confusing once you chain 1, and also I don't think your border looks as good. So, I don't chain 1. I just go directly to the next space and make shell, chain 2, shell. We have 2 more corners, and that's what we're going to do in those as well. We're going to do shell, chain 2, shell in every corner. That means 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets into the same space. And once again, shell, chain 2, and shell. And then we just slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And then we slip stitch over to our next corner. And now we're going to change colors. You don't have to, but I'm going to. So I just snip off my pink. So to change color, all I do is I've got this little loop already on here. It's the loop, there you go, like that. And then make sure my tail is facing this way. I'm just going to grab it and pull it through the loop like that. And then tug on my pink like that. And then tug on the blue. And then I just chain 1, 2, 3. Now, to make things a little easier for myself, I am going to tie a little knot. Just to make sure nothing comes unraveled. You can also work over your tails if you want. So you just hold them up like this. And then we're doing shell, chain 2, shell, because we're in a corner. And we're just going to work over those tails. Chain 2. And shell again. Okay. Now then, we have our first middle space between the corners. In our middle spaces, no matter how many you have in a row, because as this gets bigger, you'll have more and more middle spaces, this is where you just make a shell. That's it. Just one shell. Again, we don't chain between the shells unless it's a corner, because I just think it makes it neater. Okay, so it's just a shell, just like that. Now we have another corner, so it's shell, chain 2, shell. See, you've got a shell, and a space between. That's where you make one shell. Once again, you've got a corner space here. So what do? Shell, chain 2, shell. Very good. Say it out loud. You know what? Especially if you're just learning. Say it out loud. It helps. And if you don't get it the first time around, y'all should see what my first granny square looked like. Honey, it was not even a square. So don't be embarrassed at all if you don't get it the first time around. And we have a shell and a shell and a space between. So we do one shell. You can change colors every row. You can change colors in the middle of a row. Okay, we have a corner. So what do? Shell, chain 2, and shell. I know somebody out there said it. Lastly, we have 2 spots here, and we're going to make a shell. Now, who noticed my mistake? Leave it in the comments if you noticed it. Don't cheat, because I'm going to tell you what it was. Put the timestamp in the comment and tell me what my mistake was. Do you see it? Okay. I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3, and then I'll tell you. Do you see it? Boop, right there. I forgot an extra double crochet. I only have 2 right there. But if I hadn't said I made a mistake, would you have noticed? Probably not. And in a world of like all the granny squares in this particular project that I would be making, you wouldn't even notice. So see, even if you make mistakes, it may not even be that big a deal, as long as you've got a square. I'm going to change colors again, so I'm going to slip stitch over. And then into the space. Pull up a loop, make sure I've got a loop going. Okay, good. I'm going to snip this off. Everybody like my little unicorn scissors that I got from my friend Alea at Cozy Crochet Co. I will link her down below. You should check her out. She's amazing. Okay. Snip. Now I've got this fun yarn. Don't worry, it will not be complicated looking at the fun yarn because again, we are working in spaces here. So once again, we're going to drape this over my hook. Pull it through the loop, pull down on the original loop, which is here, and then pull down on the new loop, and then chain 1, 2, 3, and make a tiny knot just to make sure everything stays in place. And then we'll work over our tails. Huh, wonder what happened to my third chain. Okay, anyway. We're in a corner, so of course we're gonna do shell, chain 2, and shell. And we're working over those tails by holding them up. Holding them against the side here. Woo, look how fun. Now this is the last row I'm gonna do with y'all because it's the same from here out. As you build your square, you're gonna have more and more of these spaces, and you're just gonna do, now you had one, now you have two. You're gonna put a shell in each one and shell, chain 2, shell in all the corners. And as your squares build, because you can make this as big or as small as you like, you can make them small and put them all together. You can make a giant one. So many things you can do with granny squares. And we're going to be doing some more granny square stuff on the channel, and I'm really excited about that. So what you're going to do is, as you build, every space has one shell, no chains. Every corner is shell, chain 2, shell. Okay, so it doesn't matter how big your square gets, the pattern doesn't change. Isn't that nice? The pattern doesn't change, but the yarn can. You can make all of this in one color. You do not have to change colors like I did, but I wanted to show y'all how to change colors, and it makes it a little prettier. See, so I had a space, and I have another space, so I'm doing another shell. And then shell, chain 2, and shell. This yarn has some teal in it, and I was really hoping that that would be in this section, but I don't think it's going to be. I think this is the purple section, so oh well. If I don't like it, I can frog it, which means I just rip it out. As long as I don't tie a knot. If you tie a knot, you can't take it out. Well, I mean, you can, but it's going to take some work. If you don't tie a knot at the end and you look at it and you go, I don't really like that, you could just rip it out. Got another space. So what is it? It's just a shell, all by its lonesome. Another space. We're just working in spaces. No stitches, just spaces. Corner. Somebody say it. Shell, chain 2, shell. Very good. Got 2 spaces here, so we're going to put a shell in each. And we might actually make it to the turquoise yarn. There it is! See? Told ya. Variegated yarns are so fun. Never know what color you're going to get. That's the other thing. You could just get one variegated yarn and make a granny square, and you just don't know what the next color will be, and that can be fun too. Got a corner here. Shell. Chain 2. And shell. Okay, we have 2 spaces left. That's just going to be a shell each. And 1, 2, 3. Now this is my last round, so I am going to stop and I'm going to show you how I fasten off. Leave a little bit of a tail. Pull up. Get out your needle. Mine is here. Here we go. We're going to skip this stitch. We're going to go into the next stitch like that. Okay? Then we're going to go in the middle of the stitch we just came out of. And this little back loop right here. Can you see? Just gently pull. Gently. Now look at that. Everything looks like a crochet stitch. Isn't that cool? Okay. Now we're just going to weave our tail in. We're going to go through some stitches just back and forth. Just try and make it look secure. The best place to go back and forth is back here. Because you got a lot more stitches to choose from. Just back and forth and back and forth. You just don't want it coming out in the wash. Okay, these should be fine. We tied them. And then we worked over them, so they should be fine. Just trim that. Trim that. Now this one you might want to secure real quick if you did the magic ring. Again, just back and forth through some stitches. There's really no perfect way to weave in your ends other than getting a sharp needle instead of a blunt tip like this, and going in the fibers instead of the stitches, but you have to be sure that's what you want. Now you just take your fingers, put them in all the corners, and pull. Now it's a square. Okay, one last thing. This is your center. You may have a ring if you did the chain 4, or you have a teeny little dot if you did the magic ring. Okay? How you count your rows is diagonally. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. You count your rows diagonally. If you count up, you'll get lost. Someone was very smart a long time ago and came up with count it diagonally. And that's how you know how many rows you've got. Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial today. I hope you had fun making granny squares. Tell me down below if you made a granny square and how many rows you did. Thank you so much for being here today. Remember, life happens, yarn helps, and spoonies can stitch it up too. Bye-bye.